In this video, me and 4 other fellow animators will be creating different parts of the same scene. But we won't be allowed to see what anyone's doing until the end, and there'll be no communication. Let me show you how this works. So I've blocked out a rough 20-second animation, and this is the scene we're going to use. So let's just go through it. It's basically an obstacle course, like a video game, or one of those Stickman videos you might have seen. Each of us is going to tackle a different element of the scene. So someone will animate this little blue character. Someone's going to animate these red traps. So the character just comes along. It's going to be completely replaced by whatever animation they come up with. But this is all here just to synchronize the timing and positioning so that we all can make the scene work well together without seeing what we're all doing. So it goes through more traps, jumps into this portal. Now this is where the character goes from blue to orange, but this is because the character is going to switch and another animator is going to animate this bottom portion. I think that makes it a bit of a more unique scene, but also it splits the workload so we don't have one person doing the entire character animation. So yeah, it just goes through a bunch of traps, a little bit of optionality, and then boom. I kind of imagine that as like a big laser, but you know, it could be like a swarm of bees flying past. Okay, so the way I'm splitting it up is one person does the background, all the blue platforms and everything behind it, and the portal. We have one person animating the character on top, one person doing the character down the bottom, one person does the traps up top, and one person does the traps on the bottom. Now the traps look pretty simple, but we can go as complicated as we like as long as the traps are open when they need to be, in those specific spots, right? Because the character has to get through it. This red box could be all sorts of things. So I basically let people choose their roles, and I ended up doing the traps on top. I say that as if it's past tense, but I haven't even started. So perhaps I should get started. Alright, so for the first contraption, the second one, I've set up a bit of an acid spillage situation. So we've got tubes filling this bigger tube with acid. It's falling through this gap, and then once it closes, the flow stops. You can jump through. I initially had it over here on the first one, but I realized if you have acid spilling onto the floor and he slides through, I think that would be bad for you. Don't really want to melt your entire back, so I'm just going to put it over here instead. Don't know what I'll do for this first one. But the bottom part of this red thing is going to be some kind of metal contraption. Maybe it's got spinning blades on it, but you just can't touch it. Quite a precarious jump to be making. Yeah, I'm going to start actually animating this now. I started by making the glass tube with some sliding doors underneath to let the acid out, and smaller tubes that feed more acid in. For the flow of liquid, I animated this wavy shape as a base. Then I drew in the same green color in the tube and animated a mask to show the tube emptying and refilling. I had the acid pour in from the side tubes with a few frames of it entering and then a shaky loop. That didn't seem like enough, so I also dropped some in from the top. To go from closed to the full flow, I drew a bunch of in-between frames as the tube opens. Now I'm going to add details to the acid fall. I can use a lot of the same techniques as the waterfall I did recently, starting with holes that fall down, which I'll make on another layer, then merge and delete. When the doors close, I need to have the liquid stop and fall down. Then it's back to more details on the acid. I drew these dark patches falling down, then a wobbling shine loop. I added a scratchy dark animation at the bottom and a lighter patch in the middle. It looks pretty good, so time to start on the bottom part. I made this metallic cylinder with the idea of having spinning saw blades on each side. I used this 24-sided star shape, drew some scratches on it, and made it spin. To make it more interesting, and so it's easier to tell that it's spinning, I added variation with different point sizes and cuts. Now I'm just working on shading and details to make everything look nice. And a glow on the acid to top things off. Over on the left side trap, I landed on the idea of having 2 objects with a gap moving in opposite directions, leaving just enough time for the character to slide through. Before deciding what that would actually be, I went back and added some shine and steam to my first trap. There was a lot of tinkering with the speed and spacing of these moving objects. Then I went back to the acid again and added bubbles. Once I was happy with the blocking of this thing, I eventually went with these strands of electricity. So I animated a squiggly lightning shape, then added little zaps branching off. I also animated a straighter shape down the middle. The glow colors I ended up changing a lot, but for now I'm putting in an orb of glowing light where each lightning thing comes from. For the final trap, which stays in one place, I wanted to make a spiky ball for some reason. I drew this rugged spike shape and had it move in and out with a mask to hide it in the ball. Then I copied that all over with the anchor point in the middle. To make it more chaotic, I had a different starting frame for each spike loop. I also made these holes so the spikes actually have something to poke out of. I made the material kind of bone-like, because I thought more metal would just be boring. Now for 3 more in the front to populate that area. These ones aren't going to move because it's kind of difficult with the weird angle, and they'll be partially covered soon anyway. Let me just go back to the lightning real quick and add some thickness. Now time for some fire. Yes, I'm adding flames to this spike ball because we need more danger. I started with a wave animation, added circles flowing upwards, and used that as a guide for my fire shape. I coloured it in and added some more small bits flying off. Then some yellow patches in the center and white within that. I duplicated the animation and offset the starting point for an organic flame duo. To get that fiery look, I played with the blending modes, added a blur and glow. Then I thought it looked better without the blur. I also put more flames in the back and an extra glow at the bottom. So that's my traps pretty much complete, and now it's a matter of making small adjustments to everything. So this is what I've ended up with. Pretty satisfied with it. Now let's see what everyone else has gotten up to.
Hey guys, it's very exciting to be on the channel. I'm Jason. I'm an animator, 2D animator, and I'm really excited to be a part of this project with Science Sandwich. So when I saw the template for the animation, the first thing I thought of was a ninja character. And I was really inspired by the character Rainey Cunningham from the Disney XD show. And I wanted those kind of proportions and the really gestural way of drawing at the character. So that was the direction I went for when designing the character. So after designing the character, I moved on to the thumbnail stage where I just did a really quick draft of the kind of motion I wanted in the animation, the kind of poses the character would be in while traversing through the traps. The idea I had was the ninja character running in from the left and then sliding down whatever trap the other artists have in mind, doing like a combat roll and waiting and then jumping over the other trap. And then I had this cool idea of a gainer, which is a backflip that goes forwards. I really felt ambitious in the moment because of the kind of character I was working with. So after the thumbnails, I moved on to drawing the keyframes, which are essentially the thumbnails, but just revised, made to be on model. And then I moved on to the breakdowns, which are essentially drawings that tell you how each keyframe is gonna translate from one to the other. And then I made timing charts to help me get the timing right for the in-betweens. And then I started in-betweening, which was the most important, but the hardest and the slowest process. It took a really long time to figure out how the motion was going to translate visually. I had to look up a lot of reference from video games and just real life footage of how people jump and roll. But after in-betweening, I cleaned it up, I colored it, and hopefully it should work with what the other artists are creating. Hopefully the background is not too dark, but you know, I'm excited to see the final product.
So I'll be doing the bottom traps. My current thinking is that I'm a bit inspired by the traps in Spelunky that shoot arrows, and I was thinking if I've got a couple of blocks here, of course I'll make them even, that shoot some arrows down in a sort of this kind of pattern. The character, whoever they are, will jump through and just narrowly avoid getting hit by these arrows. And then I'm thinking obviously we'll need some kind of receptacle underneath to catch these, something like that. And then for this one, I was thinking of having some sharks in the water. So I mean, I'll have the shark fin swimming around, going around in circles, And then what I was thinking is at the end, it would be revealed that it is actually a scuba diver, and he'll either have the shark fin on the back, or I think more likely the head, because that way I don't have to pop him out of the water so much. Finally, the last trap that I have is something will come in from the side and go all the way across the screen. And my current thinking is that we do a missile, shoots out until it hits here, and then we kind of get a bit of an explosion, and maybe it breaks off a bit of this as well. So that is my current thinking. Let's see if we can achieve this. Let's design the swimming man. And this actually might be way too large, because if I was thinking of putting that on his head, that is a massive man in the swimming pool. Yeah, I think that timing will work nicely. Granted, this is, going to be very small. Okay, so I had the idea for these parts that shoot arrows and the receptacles. So, in Spelunky and Indiana Jones, it's very Mayan, and I was looking at different sculptures that have characters that shoot arrows on them, and I thought that would be really cool to have arrows shooting out of and into the lion's face/mouth. So I'll probably add some squash and some stretch to the arrows as they get faster flying up and down, and then I'll adjust the timing so that it stays open for as long as the traps are meant to be open. So I'm just going to kind of wing the missile. I'll just have it go across in an even spacing and then have it explode. I'll probably just do it frame by frame rather than keep framing it. But I haven't really done a missile or explosion much, so... yeah, I might hold that explosion a little bit longer. But that's a rough idea.
I'm so excited to be a part of this challenge. I love drawing characters, so, of course, I volunteered to animate the character at the bottom. So many things came to mind right away. I even thought about doing like a self-insert, but, I had a better idea. My character could be my cat Indiana. See, she's adorable. How could anyone not love her? So with that said, I got to work on the rough sketch. This is my first big animation project, so if you see me fumbling, zip it. I really thought this was gonna take 2 hours, but this is 10 hours worth of footage. This part in the beginning is really what tripped me up. Cats fall weird. Have you ever seen that? They twist their body to land on their feet. It's awkward. Their front paws come down before they twist the rest of their body. It's like magic. I had to watch so many YouTube videos to get this right. In comparison, the rest of the sketches were easy. I started refining the sketches and filling it in with a base color. And it might not look like much, but I swear there's the slightest eggshell white base color. One of my favorite parts here is when she fluffs up and turns into a puffball. I was inspired by Spirited Away. There's a part where Chihiro smells a stink demon and her hair puffs up because it smells so bad. I just had to incorporate it. Then, on to the fun part, coloring. I actually did most of this in the car because I couldn't put my iPad down. I just wanted to color Indy so bad. And it's not Indy without calico colors. Indy's actually quite special because she's a dilute calico, which means her colors are gray and tan instead of black and orange. So she's like a calico, but diluted. Anyways. And that's it. Overall, I'm really pleased with how the animation turned out, especially because it's my first time doing something longer. I'm so excited to see what the others came up with. But quickly, before I go, I want to point out my favorite frame. This one of Indy bluffing. Oh my gosh, it's just my favorite. I've only ever caught her doing it once. But that's all she needed. It was the best day of my life. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks so much for having me. It was such a great time.
Right as soon as I saw the video template, the layout reminded me of a video game level, so that was my inspiration for the background here. For the bottom area, I was specifically going for something similar to the mineshaft levels from the original Donkey Kong Country. I decided that I wanted to keep the bottom area looking very rough and organic, with crooked lines, rounded edges, and warm orange lighting, and contrast that with the top area looking very clean and mechanic, with straight lines, sharp edges, and cold blue lighting. I envisioned something like a huge laboratory look for the top area, but I think it kind of ended up looking more like a high school science classroom instead, which I guess is still fine. I do wish I'd come up with something just a little bit more creative for the design of the portal, since I think it looks a little bland and generic, but I don't necessarily dislike it. I just think I could have done something better if I'd spent just a little bit more time on it. After finishing the final render, since my inspiration was Donkey Kong Country, I compressed it down to the Donkey Kong Country color palette and scaled it to roughly the resolution of the SNES. I like the full HD render just fine, but I do definitely prefer the compressed Super Nintendo look.
Now it's finally time for us to see what we've all made. Unfortunately, Jimmy couldn't be here, so we're going to look at his background first. And bear in mind, none of us have seen anything the others have made so far. Yeah, let's have a look at what Jimmy's done. Full resolution. Oh, this is the animation. Okay. Wait, that's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh my
Oh,
God. I was not expecting anything like that.
what the heck?
He did say he did it in
Cooked.
Blender. Yeah, he has cooked.
Oh, that's
In
amazing.
Blender? No way.
There's a little blue screen of death.
So this is the background. Oh no, this is the combined with the platforms. Yeah. Ah, there we go.
Okay, yeah, so the portal's glowing. But yeah, I think that's gonna look really cool. And I think this is just, yeah, the pixelated edition.
Oh,
Wow,
Oh,
it's
wait.
really cooked.
Ah, there we go.
Okay, so this
That
is more
with the
like,
platforms.
yeah,
well, it's different layers.
that's cool. Now, who wants to go next? Okay.
Yeah, since I did the top character, I can go first.
Okay, you go first.
So this is what I came up with.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's
Holy
smooth.
smokes.
Oh, that's really cool with the back, like the gainer at the end.
Yeah,
very
the
cool.
gainer.
Wow.
Kind of goes off screen. There was no room for any other move.
Yeah, I can't wait to check out the in between frames on that roll. It looks so cool. Looks smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the roll was such a pain to animate. I kind of cheated it a little bit. I made it really fast, so you don't really notice how wonky it looks. But I feel like it turned out pretty good at the end.
Yeah, just
Honestly,
stick in the
yeah.
smear frame.
Just love this so much. You really cooked.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I left your backgrounds in this version just to see, but the ones I exported don't have it.
Okay.
But here you go.
Oh my god, it's a cat.
Oh, kitty!
Oh, it's a cat. No way.
Oh, that was
Oh, that's so cool!
such a cat-like jump.
Oh,
Oh my god, that's so cool.
That is amazing.
oh, it's so expressive.
The little
I'm
Yeah,
glad you
there's
like
so
it.
much
stops and-
personality.
yeah. Like it doesn't just do nothing at the top, it licks itself.
It was such a long pause. I think I came back to that part at the very end to figure out what to do.
Yeah. Well, you've definitely cooked.
It's really funny because, right in these frames, she's, sticking her tongue out. That's my favorite.
Yeah. That's
I love
a
the
good
emotion
freeze
and the
frame.
expressions. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wow, we're all cooking.
Well, I did the top trap, so I should go first, I think.
No way. What the heck?
All right, so this is what I did.
Oh, the effects are awesome.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Brought
So
the
what?
lightning back.
Yeah. True,
How
that was your
did you
favorite
do
thing,
that?
so...
What?
So I didn't mean to make it all, elemental substances, but that's just kind of what happened. Hopefully your ninja will squeeze under the lightning in time. It's like a very narrow window.
Yeah, that's I kind of pushed it a little bit with this proportion, so maybe you could shrink down the every frame or something just so it actually
Yeah.
fits through.
Well, I'm sure I could, I can change the timing or the gap in the electricity, but yeah, it should be fine.
I love the particles
oh,
at the end
that's
of the
so cool.
lightning. So nice.
Yeah, thank you.
I love this. It's so good.
Oh, and I love how the tank refills as well. It's very clever.
Yeah, oh yeah, I tried to make everything physically make sense, but like when I did the lightning second, and I was like, this can just be magic. Let's do Mitch's one. Whoa, such a unique take on
there's like darts.
the like gap and everything.
I just love your art style. That's so sick.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Whoa,
Oh
what?
my gosh.
Wait, did I do the
Whoa,
whole
that's not expecting that.
Yeah, I wanted to keep that one a bit of a surprise.
That was really fluid.
That's amazing.
So yeah, you can see why it doesn't quite loop.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, that's really creative getting there. It's just a normal guy.
Yeah, that was cool.
I can't wait to see how these all line up. This is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hopefully it
gosh.
lines up. It looks like it will. So I put all the layers together, and I did end up resizing the ninja just during this acid portion, just so he fits through. And I'll leave it at that for the reveal, but I am going to show you the SNES version and some lighting improvements I made to it afterwards. Ready? 3,
Ooh, how exciting.
2,
Yeah.
1. Very,
you can't
very
even
tight
tell.
jump, yeah. Oh.
Oh,
The,
Oh, did you do kitty?
aw. Yeah, the transformation worked pretty well. Whoa.
wow.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
the time.
gosh,
Wait,
That worked out so
Good.
well.
No way.
wait, I didn't. The loop was seamless to me because I wasn't looking at the spot where it suddenly changes.
Oh, what? There's two
Oh,
ninjas.
Yeah, there's multiple.
Okay, I do need to fix that, but
But the
Oh,
transformation is
amazing.
pretty
That looks so
awesome.
good though.
aside from that, it turned out pretty awesome.
And you know what? It kind
it
of
feels
works
like
as
it
well.
does
You've got the
too.
sci-fi up the top, and then and then below you've got less sci-fi. It kind of
But
works.
it's kind of a crazy coincidence that like I had all this machinery and like acid, and it kind of fits with the theme. And then yours, you have like the brown
Yeah, mine's more rocks and,
and rocks.
I'm so glad it looks good. It looks so good.
It doesn't look like no communication.
It
No,
really
it does.
doesn't.
It does.
No.
I do think that comes to your template, Tom. I think that worked out really well.
Yeah, imagine just no template. We just do whatever we want.
I love the cat fluffing up.
Yeah, the cat has so much life to it.
I'm so glad you guys like it. I spent so much time on just like second guessing, like, does this
Aw.
look good? Does it make sense?
It does.
And the ninja looks so good. I love the proportions.
I was gonna say the only thing I didn't consider was that the background might be too light, and it kind of is, but it still works. Like for my.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
So here's the final animation as is, and here it is with the compressed background, which looking at it now, I think I do prefer. Now, as I said before, I did some work on the lighting, and I also added a glow to the characters so they're more visible. So everything's just a bit easier to see and more cohesive now, and I think it looks pretty nice. Well, that's it. Thanks to Chicky, Mitch, Jason, and Jimmy. You guys absolutely cooked, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. As for everyone else, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.